Let us look at the Vienna settlement, 1814 to 1815. What's all about the Vienna settlement? So in this kind of arrangement, we needed to understand the achievements of the Vienna settlement. In other words, did the Vienna settlement achieve in this kind of arrangement? The Napoleonic era caused so many problems in Europe. That's why the diplomats had to sit at Vienna to solve the problems caused by Napoleon Bonaparte. So we are saying the Vienna settlement was a combination of resolutions, agreed upon by the great powers of Europe of the Congress of Vienna of 1815. It included the terms of the 1814 Treaty of Chaumont and the Treaty of Paris of 1815. So we believe the leading diplomats, we had people like Prince Metternich, Lord Castlereagh, Alexander I. All of these were leading brains in the Vienna settlement. We need to understand that the Vienna settlement aimed at promoting peace, even at balancing power. We believe Napoleon had disrupted the peace. So the diplomats aimed at promoting peace. So we need to understand the achievements of the Vienna settlement. We are saying the Vienna settlement restored the peace and political stability in Europe. You remember, Napoleon had disturbed the peace through wars. For example, Peninsular Wars, Moscow Campaign. So the diplomats had to see it by this time, and they managed to restore peace. No one was supposed to disrupt peace in Europe. So praise to the leading diplomat, that is the Prince Metternich. Another key aspect, the settlement restored legitimate rulers. Let me tell you, the European powers wanted Europe to be led by kings. That's why by this time, they restored King Louis XVIII in France, and later Charles X. Ferdinand I in Naples, Ferdinand VII in Spain, all of these were restored. This makes us believe, since among the aims of the diplomats was to restore legitimate rulers, we are saying the Vienna settlement achieved because it restored legitimate rulers. Another one, it managed to prevent future French aggression. You remember at the times of Napoleon, France was aggressive. It was attacking countries. Napoleon wanted to have influence in the whole of Europe. So by this time, since France was aggressive, the diplomats had to see. One of the strategies they did was to decrease on the size of a country called France. Even what they did, they amalgamated the smaller states together to prevent France from attacking weak states. For example, Belgium and Holland were amalgamated together and they created the Kingdom of Netherlands. The issue was to promote peace. So by this time, we are like saying French aggression was controlled. Another one, the settlement initiated the new tradition of diplomacy. At one time, there wasn't tradition of diplomacy, sitting on a round table and you negotiate. But for the first time, the leading diplomat, Metternich and others, called for what? Diplomacy, where they had to sit whenever they had a problem. They were supposed to do what? To see it and solve the problem. So praise be to the leading diplomats like Prince Metternich and Lord Castlereagh. Another one, the settlement secured the complete defeat of the aggressive emperor. We believe by this time, the aggressive Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte, who dominated the period 1799 to 1814, was defeated. I can tell you it was not easy to defeat Napoleon Bonaparte. One time, one man, Nelson, said that one Napoleon was equivalent to 40,000 soldiers. I can tell you it was not easy. Forces combined. That's why they had to sit at Vienna. And finally, they had to totally defeat Napoleon Bonaparte. A man who once said, I know where my eyes stop, but I don't know where my ambitions stop. In other words, the man had very great what? Ambitions. But finally, he was defeated. Another one, the settlement revived the permanent alliance of four powers. That is Quadro Alliance. We believe by this time, countries agreed that even after Vienna, we needed to cooperate. That's why they came up with the Congress system. By this time, Britain, Austria, Prussia, Russia agreed to cooperate together. Praise be to the flamers, to the wise men who were behind the Vienna settlement. In this kind of arrangement, it had a great agenda. Another one, it redrew the map of Europe, mainly by reducing the size of France. Let me tell you, a man had changed the geography. Napoleon Bonaparte conquered countries and he made them to be part of France. But for the first time, geography had to be changed. This man gave the geographers a job because they had to see it and design a new map. So in this kind of arrangement, the size of France had to be reduced. Another one, the settlement settled the problem of disputed territories, especially Poland and the Kingdom of Saxony, which could have caused the war between Russia and Prussia. So by this time, changes had to rise up, where all of this was made to promote what? Peace. Peace had to be promoted. Another key aspect, the settlement indirectly provided foundation to the unification of Germany and Italy. Let me tell you, at one time, the diplomats at Vienna, in this kind of arrangement, combined some Germany states. It is this that made people to believe, for example, in German states, if the diplomats at Vienna manage to combine us together, we can still fight and create only one state called the German. Praise be to a man called Otto von Bismarck, lead thinker. This man, his name is supposed to rotate in our minds. Otto von Bismarck. You remember there wasn't one country called the German. You remember we said they were